I picked up the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Essentials palette, and this is the one in the shade light to medium. It's the new one that they came out with where they have foundation, blushes, and bronzers. I didn't pick up the last one where they came out with just the bronzer one because I didn't think I would use all of those shades. I'm not a makeup artist, but this one intrigued me. Let's get started. I am so excited. Hold on. I am so excited because I really wanted this palette and I couldn't wait for the Sephora sale because I didn't want it to be out of stock. So I picked mine up and mine is in the shade light to medium, and this is what the palette looks like. It retails for $119 Canadian. So it's really beautiful how on one side you have the highlighters and the blushes, and on this side you'll have the highlighters, concealer, foundation type, and bronzer. This is very good for dry, combo, normal, or oily skin. So it's a beautiful cream palette. Look at this. It's long wearing. It's a cream palette with a multi-use shades that you can also mix to create your own custom foundation, your custom concealer, bronzer, contour, blush, or highlighter. So let me just show you the palette. Look how beautiful it looks before I get into it and start swatching it. And we're going to use this all over the face today. So I have my eyes done and I've used the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette, and I mostly went in with the purples. That's what I have on my eyes. But let me start swatching. So I'm gonna start swatching the highlighters and blushes. Okay, so here we have the first section of the palette, and I'm talking about this side right here. You can see my fingerprints in it, and you can see how emollient and soft it is. This one right here is the nice pinky highlighter, which I think will go really good on top of a blush. This is the actual highlighter, and then these are the 4 blushes. It's so pretty. And I'm gonna go ahead and now swatch this side right here so you guys can see how these shades actually look. And then here we have this part of the palette right here. I'll move it a little bit further so that it's not too bright from the light. And then here we have the blushes. I think it's really pretty. Let me dim the light so you guys can see better. Let's see if this will help. There you go. So here we have the blushes and highlighters. And then here we have the nice bronzers. I think that it's really pretty. I don't even know what I'm going to use today. We're going to play with a bunch of this all over the face. So let's get started. Okay, so obviously this comes with the 6 complexion shades. We have light with rosy tones, we have fair with neutral, medium with neutrals, light to medium with neutrals, deep with warm, tan with neutrals. So you get 4 blushes, which are this ones right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you get the 2 highlighters here, which I think this I'm going to use a blush topper. And then you get obviously contour, bronzer, concealer, and then you can create your own custom foundation shade. So the way how I'm going to use this right now is I'm going to go into this 2 right here. So I'm going to use a small brush because these are like smaller pans. And I think I'm going to go into this a couple times and this. And let's see. Oh, maybe that's a little bit too dark. So let's add more of this and create your own custom shade. So I'm just gonna apply this all over the face slowly. Again, mostly this palette is good to use as for blushes, for bronzer, not really for foundation. However, if you do go traveling and you forget your foundation, it's all in here. So I'm just gonna do the one side. I know we applied a little bit there, but I'm gonna do one side here and see how this looks. I already have sunscreen and moisturizer. I can see that if you use this palette a lot, mostly for foundation, you will eventually probably run out of it. I don't know. That's what I'm assuming, right? Because you have to do like a full face with mostly these 2 shades. And this is the lightest one. They also have a deeper one. So I'm just going to apply this. I'm just going to dip into those 2 shades and apply it, and then I'm gonna go with a sponge. But I can already see like a really nice natural finish. Okay, let me zoom you in a little bit more. Oh yeah, this is so pretty. So this is it actually looks very nice and natural. I'm gonna go in with the deeper a little bit more. Now I will let you know if this is worth $119 based on performance, because if you think based on the products you get in here, you do get 2 highlighters, 4 blushes, foundation, concealer, bronzers, etc., right? Okay, so this looks really nice. Let's make sure that we spread it here. The only downside is that if you use this for foundation, you see that you have to put in a little bit more work because it's a small pan, so you want to go in with a smaller brush. Okay, so here is the side with the 2 shades we've used. I've combined this light one with this one right here. And then here is the side. I just applied a little bit here just to test it out. But yeah, ignore that spot. And that's what it looks like. Let me see if I blended it all nicely. I don't see dryness. It doesn't cling to anything on my face. It's very emollient and very natural looking with a, I don't know, is it light to medium coverage? I would say. It's hard to tell. Definitely not high coverage, right? I think that it looks really good. I just love it. So this is the side with the foundation. And then here we have the side with nothing on it. It's pretty, right? Okay, so it looks really pretty. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do this side now. I wonder how long this will last. The foundation and concealer if you were to use it on a regular basis. That's my only concern, right? I think the best way to apply it is with a small brush like this. Maybe just dab it into the skin and then go in with the dampened sponge, I think. I love how you can just customize your own shades. Like you can go a little bit darker or brighter, and it's not like a big difference if you go in with that darker shade, so don't be afraid. Just play with it and then add the brighter shade on top. So I'm just gonna go now with the lighter shade, and then I'm gonna slowly add it underneath my eyes just to brighten this area up a little bit, kind of like what a concealer would do, just in this area like this, where I would normally apply the concealer. And then on my nose. And then I'm going to go in with my sponge. Push everything in. I think I have to add a little bit more here. You see how it eliminates that redness there? It's so pretty. And this is what the palette looks like after I dug into it, into this 2 shades right here. I have a little monitor here, so it's really difficult to tell, am I showing it to the right more, to the left? It's so hard. Okay, let's move on to, let's contour, okay? So I want to use this shade for contouring right here. And I'm going to go in with this Blend and Buff by Nude Sticks. Let's see. I'm really curious how this is going to be. Oh, that's a perfect contour shade for my skin type. Look at that. I'm going to add a little bit here too. And then we're going to mix and match the bronzing ones. But let's use this just as a contour to give it that nice shadow effect. And then you want to blend it upwards. Oh yeah, this is so pretty. Lovely. So now I'm going to go in with this rose ink brush. And I'm trying to think, what do I want to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to dab into this too and this. I'm just going to go like this because I want to be able to use all the shades and not just one. And that's a perfect bronzing shade. You see? So again, I'm just going to go, you can either go this way if you want. You see, like this. Look at that. Perfect bronzing shade. And if it's too light for you or too orange, obviously you can add a little bit of that contour and just deepen it a little bit more. But I like this. I'm really happy I can use all of these shades. It's just so satisfying because I don't want to spend $119 and just use 2 shades and then the rest won't match. And I know that they had a bronzer palette like this, face palette that they came out before, and it looked pretty, and I kind of wanted it because a lot of people bought it. But like I said, that palette consisted mostly of this type of shades on both sides, and I didn't see myself using it a lot, right? So I didn't buy it. For that reason, I didn't buy it. I really love how you can just customize your shade however you want. Oh, this is so beautiful. So again, you don't have to be a makeup artist to use this palette. They say that this is a perfect palette for makeup artists. But yeah, you know, I'm not a makeup artist, right? I'm just a makeup lover. And this palette works for me. So it actually works for the regular consumer. That's why I wanted to try this out for you guys, because it's such a big investment. Like, that's a lot of money, $119, unfortunately, right? But I wanted to try it and see if it's worth it. Again, you don't have to buy this. Like, you don't need it. It's not something you need. But if you are makeup obsessed like how I am, and you want to try it, I'm here to show you how it works. Okay, so let's try the highlighter now. So this is considered the highlighter right here, which is underneath that. I consider this like a blush topper, which we're going to use it that way. And for that highlighter, I'm going to use this Moda Pro Glow brush. And let's see. I always like to apply my highlighter before my blush, because then when I blend my blush, it looks a little bit more natural. So far, the foundation underneath has not moved, budged, did not pick up with the bronzer or anything like that. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see close up. You can see a little bit here of an emollient. It's a very nice natural highlighter, nothing too beaming. But again, with this type of foundation underneath, I think that it's been already kind of glowy. Just this adds a little bit more of that, you know, more natural highlight. So this is not a huge highlighter. Like, if you prefer something more beaming and out there, then that's not for you. Okay, so let's blend this more because I don't want to see any sharp lines. So let's move on to blushes. I don't know, I want to use all blushes, but should we combine them all?
12 seconds later.
Actually, let's just go into these two blushes like this first and apply it. This is a Makeup by Mario F4 brush. And I'm going to do one cheek with these two blushes together like this. And then the other, I'm going to use those two blushes so you can see how it looks on the cheek. And then we kind of combine them to make it look the same on both cheeks afterwards. So very natural looking. It's not like a beaming blush. You can definitely intensify it. So I keep dabbing in both of those shades. You see how pretty that is? So this is those two blushes combined together right here, the middle ones. Okay, so I'm gonna go in a BK Beauty 109 brush and go into those deeper blushes. I'm gonna go into this. This is more of a wine color and this is more of a brownish. So I'm just gonna combine both and see how this one looks. If there's any difference. It has to be a difference, obviously, because the shades are different, but on the cheek, it might transfer the same. Not a huge difference. We can intensify it. However, if you do add more of the one shade, then you can definitely build it up. And yeah, this is more corally looking, and this is more reddish wine brick looking. But you know what? Not a big difference. However, if I were to add, let's add this a little bit more, and you can see it turns a little bit darker than the peach. I hope that this gives you kind of like an idea on this palette. So let me zoom you in so you guys can see how beautiful the complexion looks with this palette. Okay, so I'll try not to move too much. Hold on. This funky hairs. Okay, so I think that the foundation, first of all, it has not obviously settled into any fine lines, nothing like that. It looks beautiful, very nice, and this is more of a nice and glowy type of look with this palette. Obviously, they're all creams in here, but I think that it's just beautiful. Everything mashed together nicely. It works amazing as a foundation. It did not lift anything up here. You can see there's no patchiness, nothing. So I think that it looks really pretty. Same here. It did not move the foundation, bronzer. You know what I want to do? Now I'm going to go with that Moda brush, the highlighter brush, and I'm going to go into this. It's called a highlighter, but I call it a blush topper, and I think I'm just going to add it on top of my blush just to give it more highlight. I think that's perfect for that step. I don't even need to combine any more blush because I think they look pretty similar. So again, I did combine those two for this cheek. However, you can just go with one, but I wanted to kind of use them all in today's video. Same with this two in here, and you can see it's very beautiful, very similar, emollient, glowy. Now, you can powder. We can go ahead and I'm gonna use my Givenchy powder, and let's see how the powder sits on this. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in the cap, and I'm gonna use this. I like to use this AK Beauty 113 brush. It's more the flat, fluffy one, and the powder I'm using is the Givenchy in the shade 3. Yes. So I'm just gonna powder a little bit on top. I wanna see how this will look. I'm gonna do the one side here only, and then we're gonna do the other. Oh wow, you can see that it kind of eliminated that shininess, but the glow and the healthy skin is still coming through, so it doesn't make it look drying. It looks so beautiful. Okay, so this is with powder. I'll stop moving. And then here is without powder. And from afar. I think it looks perfect, and I love that you can actually apply the powder and it doesn't look drying or patchy. So we just eliminated a little bit of that shine. Let me fix but yeah, we eliminated that a little bit of that shine, yet it looks flawless. It's called HD Skin, so I really love the Makeup Forever HD Skin line. I have the foundation and I love that too, but like I said, I wanted to try this as a foundation today, and it works perfectly. Like, I am just loving how my skin turned out. I wonder, you know what? Let's try use this on the lips. Let me clean what I have on my lips right now. I'm excited. I think that's a great idea. Okay, so this is a lip liner. You can get any type of lip liner, and I don't know which one I want to use today. Let's go with this berry one. And I want to see how this transfers to the lips. Maybe use the finger. I think it looks pretty. Let me get a mirror so I can see close up. Oh my goodness, I did not think this before to use it on the lips. I think it looks pretty. I had a lip liner and lipstick prepared for this video, but you know what? They're gonna go with this today. I think mashing the same colors all over the face, I think it looks pretty. And let's go into this darker one here with a lip liner and kind of use this as a contouring your lips, you know? And what I meant to say is going with a, not lip liner, with a lip brush. I think they complement each other so nice. Right? Isn't that pretty? So I've just used this kind of all over the lips right here, and then I use this to kind of use it as a lip liner, as a contour, but I think it looks pretty. So this is what it looks like in natural light. I think it looks really pretty, a close-up. Foundation is just beautiful. Concealer, the bronzer, the blushes just look stunning. I just love it. You guys can see outside. Look at that crazy weather. But yeah, and look at that blush as a lipstick. I think it looks really pretty. What do you guys think? Beautiful. Yeah, so this is kind of an idea so you guys can see how it just looks in natural light. Definitely recommend this palette. Final thoughts, because I didn't think I would love this palette as much as I do. First of all, I don't love the price, $119. However, you get everything you want in a palette. You have concealer, foundation, highlighter, blush, highlighter, 4 blushes, you have contour, you have like 3 different type of bronzers. This is so versatile. It's so perfect for all skin types. And even if you have oily skin, the way if you apply powder, you can see how beautiful it all mashed together, and it looks very natural. Like it has a beautiful natural finish. It doesn't cling to the top of my nose like some foundations. If they're too heavy, they do. Now this is all cream palette, which I love, and this is perfect for traveling. You can even use this darker shades all over the eye. I love that it's made so that anyone can use it. You can customize any shade possible that you can make work for yourself, and it's not a waste of money, right? Because you get to use all the shades in this palette. You won't be disappointed if you do invest in this palette, and with the Sephora sale being here, saving some money off of this, I would definitely recommend it. And I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Love you guys. Bye.